making it gets exhausting. Here, we keep it real. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to another episode of Curls and Courage. Hope you guys are feeling blessed, feeling amazing as always. Super excited for today's episode, and I am your host, Kinsley Meeks, wellness entrepreneur, fitness coach, bikini bodybuilder, and digital creator, here to inspire you to live boldly and unlock your highest physical and mental potential. I can already feel the energy in this episode because I am excited. I'm sitting down with my friend Matteo today, a creator and an entrepreneur who's building and running multiple different businesses. Incredible. This guy is just in motion, okay? He's making moves across fashion, swimwear, venue partnerships, hospitality, production, so many things. And I was actually in your fashion show. What was this like? Was that like 3 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago?
About a month ago, yeah.
Okay, about a month ago, and that's how we actually first met. Such a cool experience, so inspiring. Just being around, I was telling him earlier, more creative people just get something going in my brain. So I know you have a super cool story to share, lots of inspiration to bring today. So thank you so much for coming on. It means a lot.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate you and your time. I want to applaud you. I know it's not easy putting this all together. You're a host. You know, you're very genuine. You're kind. So thank you for your time. And, thank you for having me. I'm really excited for today.
Of course. Yeah. So, first thing I want to talk about, let's hop into your story a little bit. You're obviously a hustler. I'm for real. I want you to take me back just to when you first started. How did you get into what you do now with fashion and nightlife?
Well, I got to take you back to the history of what I do and how I like to do it. So, long story short, I think it started with, like, high school. I was in football. Kind of seeing all my friends like dress up and like do their thing and like all the athletic wear. I don't know, it was just kind of different, and I seen like it was just kind of a trend, and I kind of seen something when I picked up with it. And I feel like me and my group were always like the people like doing parties or having fun or putting ourselves out there.
You were turning up.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? And I was born and raised in Florida. So Stuart, Florida, Martin County, put us on the map. We have a few people from out there, you know, Justin Simmons, D-Lo, Boss Man D-Lo.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
okay.
Yeah, he actually was in my high school. I think I rode the bus with him, actually.
That is crazy.
Born and raised in Port Salerno, pretty much me. So.
Okay, so how old are you?
So I'm like 28 now.
28, okay.
Yeah, I feel old. It's crazy to think about.
You cannot say that. You're so young.
But, I mean, like, from there I evolved, and then I went into college, and I did what I could. I got my bachelor's in psychology and my master's in entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So, from there, in my master's program, I kind of learned how to market, advertise, and brand myself better than the average entrepreneur. And I think, like, my tracked mind wasn't, like, on fashion at the time. I just got out of a 5.5-year relationship. I got cheated on.
Sorry to hear that.
It's not easy. It's life. She was like cheating on me with her boyfriend that came out of like prison. So I was like,
oh my god,
you know, it's
that's even like worse.
It's life, and like you know, but I don't judge her. I hope the best for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's just who I am. But like, look where I am today. Like I wouldn't have been able to like kind of grow and like sprout and kind of just emphasize where I want to go as a person, and I feel like I was able to think outside the box, you know?
I want to pause right there for a second and then continue.
Yeah.
With what happened with your girlfriend, because I feel like a lot of people...
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
My ex-girlfriend.
With ex-girlfriend, sorry. I feel like a lot of people can relate to that as far as going through a relationship struggle, someone cheats on them. That happens all the time. Do you feel like that really helped you in a positive way?
So in the moment, of course, like you're devastated, you don't know what to do, but I have like one of my friends like pick me up and he's like, hey man, like I want to be here for you, like we're going through this like breakup together.
How were you able to move past that, you know,
so
do what you do now? Really
just it was support, the community, coming together with my friends, and like I started like having just fun. So building that, we were like the kids that were like going on yachts, having a good time, and people wanted to come out and do what we were doing. Like we had Greek life, you know, fraternities, sororities, like anyone from my college was trying to be where we were. And we had like a really solid friend group. And I think like my friends kind of pushed me to be in the next step. I actually went, long story short, my friend ended up passing away. Amen. You know,
oh gosh,
it's some crazy stuff. I like when I think about it, it's really heartbreaking, but I saw what he did and like how close me and him were, and I was like, hey, like I want to leave a legacy for myself. I actually started a podcast called Mcgriddys Club Buzz. Talked about the buzz with all the clubs in Florida. Started out with like the college bar vibes, but like I expanded and I went out to Dare Day Club. I started running a lot of people out there, kind of making a name for myself and just taking pictures with
Yeah.
quality girls, having fun, almost like building a resume, but not even really knowing what I was doing while I was. And then building these connections in the clubs, not even knowing exactly what I was doing. I saw this opportunity. My friend actually DM'd me, and he's like, hey, I think you should go for this opportunity. And I'm like, what is it? And he's like, dude, this is just for you. And like, it was a promoter job. And I was like, and it was at their day club at the Hard Rock. And like, I was like, I didn't really want to take like just any promotion job, but I was like, I'm already kind of familiar with there. I know the whole team. And I mean, I don't want to step on any toes, but I was like, I feel like I just need to take it to the next step to follow my dream.
Of course, yeah. And what was your dream like at the time? My
dream, and it still is just to kind of be like, one day having a family, having people that care and support, and then just being financially not only stable, but just like growing and like building an empire. You know what I mean? Because where I'm at, don't get me wrong, like my family, like they own a restaurant, and like obviously they're pretty well off, but I was never like in my family's money. I kind of separated myself, and like they kind of said, hey, like even though we have this, we want you to kind of work for what you have. And I've kind of built off of that, and they've worked very hard. And it's not easy kind of seeing when everything's happening. My family's entrepreneurs, but I just want to build off of that and kind of be my own and kind of make my own and see where that goes.
I love that, yeah. And I feel like when something's handed to you, it's just the success really isn't as sweet as if you work for it. Mm-hmm. Like those struggles and those trials that we go through, we don't see how they're shaping us at the time. But later, God's like, okay, like I did that for a reason, So, yeah, that makes total sense for sure. Being in the nightlife industry and everything that you do now, I feel like a lot of people probably think that's super glamorous, and that's something I kind of thought at first too. It's like, oh my gosh, like you're having so much fun, like you said, you're doing all these things, but it's pretty different in reality, I would say. There's a whole business side of things, and it's probably not all it cracks up to be as challenging. So tell me about some of those challenges in working in the industry you do now, with just nightlife for right now, working with venues and people and connections.
That's my life, just going through it. What I will say is that the connections, it wasn't easy to build. Obviously, building the connections that I have, it took a long time, and I'd say it's tedious, time-consuming. And don't get me wrong, it looks great on camera when you're having fun, when you have the girls, when you're around the models.
Yeah, of course.
You're living the quote-unquote life. But then what do you have to do to prepare for that? What do you have to do to advertise that? What do you have to do to market? What do you have to do to make yourself even look the way that you're presentable, to even think that's the way that you're supposed to be on camera?
And how important is image in the industry that you're in now?
Everything, because
everything.
So here's the thing, right? Some people can think one way or another, but it's all about how you carry yourself and like the people you're around and like how you move forward. Because people can say rumors, people can say bad things about you, and like not even just in nightlife, but just in general, like people don't like to see you succeed; they want to see you fall. 100%. And I feel like when the people are around you to support you and to be there and like to really back you up, those are the people you want to have like for the rest of your life, to kind of back you up and say, hey, these are what I want to have for the ride or dies or where I go, and like this is what I want to have in my life, that support, that foundation, and community, and it builds me to who I am today and kind of make it to where I want to be. But yes, it's very hard, it's a struggle. Nightlife is cool, but it's only like a portion of me. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like, oh, like you're a promoter. I'm like, well, I'm actually an entrepreneur. I own 5 businesses. I own Mcgriddys swimwear, Mcgriddys modeling agency, Mcgriddys Club Buzz, SM Productions, Mental Health and You LLC, and I'm proud to say all this, you know what I mean? And I can, sometimes things fail, sometimes things succeed, but everything that I'm doing, I mean, I'm not in debt, like I'm moving forward, like I'm positive with me and my partner. Just shout out to GLM Magazine, shout out to Sergio, shout out to Good Life Miami, because he helps me with everything. Shout out to SM Productions.
Shout out to everybody.
Shout out. It's everyone, and it's really just like me and him kind of just moving forward.
Yeah.
But it's the team of people like you, the DJs, anyone who's kind of been there, the designers who kind of bring it up and make it what it is. And like in nightlife, right?
Yeah.
Someone told me, they were like, yeah, Matteo, I really don't think you have the best girls at the venue. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, maybe I don't, maybe I do. But sometimes I really feel like all the clients want my girls. And I'm like, all the people are kind of paying attention to that. So when I'm feeling like castings and I'm like, the girls are winning modeling events and bikini contests and runways and they feel empowered and I'm there to support them and it's not my brand, I'm like, oh, so I don't have the best girls. And they're like, I don't think so. I'm like, well, let's reroute this. Let's go back to my foundation. well, I know how to brand, market, and advertise, so now I'm going to build a brand that shows I have the best girls. Well, here comes Mcgriddys Modeling Agency. So that's how that was born in the middle of a club when someone challenged me and told me that I didn't. Right now I'm kind of currently going through that with a couple other jobs and venues, but obviously it kind of shows when...
Like people challenging you, but you're trying to prove them wrong?
Right now I currently have someone telling me that I don't have the quality women coming into the venue, and I actually own a modeling agency. And
that is insane. Tell me, when you say the quality of women, what do they mean by that? What's a good quality? What's a good quality woman?
All right, so
for the modeling industry, because like you're saying, you own this modeling agency along with these 4 other businesses on top of that. Let's touch on the modeling for a second. With the girls, what's a good quality model? What's a good quality girl?
Well, you're gorgeous. You know what I mean? So, and I would like to say not only that, but like me seeing that, I feel like you didn't get picked up by anyone else but me. Like I said, hey, come through. I see something in you, and I want you to run with it. You know what I mean? And sometimes people are like, oh, well, I did this myself and did this. And like I feel like me and you, like we're giving each other credit where credit's due, because like I put you there and you put yourself in a place to where you can get to the next step. You know what I mean? And I think that's my foundation, wanting to work with someone like you and others, because I think girls, like, they want to see their potential, and when they have support, they can go anywhere. And don't get me wrong, no one's like this Kim Kardashian, Kylie Jenner type look. Everyone's beautiful in their own way, shape, or form. And like I'm willing to work with girls 5 foot, 6 foot. You know, they can be tall, they can be skinny. You know, they can be big chested, big butt. Like it doesn't matter, because some girls are like, oh, I don't really fit the modeling type. And you know, I hate to say it, but Mcgriddys swimwear.
he's pulling up the calendar.
It kind of shows the types.
But it's good to show, to see.
Really, what it is like we're building like a project and a foundation, and showing that we know what quality women are. And I think that's why we're building things like these calendars and the brands and the bikinis. So I physically have more say on who looks good and what, and who's going to be able to go to the next step. And 9 times out of 10, people are behind me saying, you know, like, your group's amazing. Like, your event, like, it just, like, left me, like, and wow. And sometimes it's not even, like, all that in a bag of chips. Sometimes it's, like, we're just putting it together. We had a few weeks. The venue just gave us a time and a space, and we took advantage of that time slot. Yeah. Does it always succeed? You know what I mean? There's trials and errors, and you got to, you know, go forward. But what I will tell you is I understand production. I understand promotion. I understand advertisement, marketing. Anything that goes into an event or modeling or fashion, I kind of get the foundation of it. And not just the aspect of a designer, but like how you become valuable, how you get to market, how you get to put yourself out there to where other people want to see you and work with you. Because there's brands that come out there and they're actually pretty good,
right?
But they never go anywhere because they don't know how to market, build, like advertise themselves.
Yeah.
And
that makes total sense. No one's going to be able to work with you if they don't know who you are. Mm-hmm. Like, at the end of the day, they don't know. So tell me a little bit more, too, about, like, marketing. What do you do on a day-to-day basis to really get your name out there, just from a marketing standpoint? Because that's clearly very big on what you do.
Well, marketing. I think it's a lot from social media. Okay. I think that's actually, like, built me and what I am. Some people want to call it a resume, and if they call it a resume, it's kind of hard to say because it can get taken away at any time. They can delete it, and it's so not true. Like a foundation. So right now, I guess it's kind of a starting point, but once you start building and you start going to other platforms, networking, and other outlets, as they'd say, there's a lot of different revenue streams, and there's a lot of ways you can put yourself out there. Like right now I'm trying to tap into email marketing. Now I'm trying to tap into other places. But yes, the Reels is kind of where it's at, and that's where the engagement is. And I feel like once you have like a well-rounded community and group, like models that you work with and group chats and people that you can kind of have that you can rely on, that's something that I think is going to be able to push you to make it to the next step of where you want to get to with that.
I feel like that's so true. I mean, social media is obviously everything at this point. Sometimes I hate it, sometimes I love it, but if you want to get your name out there, you have to really lock in for the social media for sure. I
was going to say, just for example, I have like averaging about 16 hours of screen time a day.
16 hours of screen time? I would die.
I've sent my friend a screenshot, and I'm like,
that's
and like
terrible.
People don't understand.
Your brain is rotting. But I know you have to. I mean,
and like the thing is like sometimes like I'm not even paying attention to my phone. It's just like on near me, and like maybe like it's in sight, and like I don't know. I'm just like paying attention, wait for that next call or meeting or whatever's going on, and it gets stressful. It gets overwhelming. It gets time consuming.
Of course.
But like to see the outcomes and like what it is, it's kind of like long-term satisfaction. And it's like I get to see everything that I put my value, time, and effort into all in one right there.
Yeah.
And it's like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's like you put yourself to the test, and it's like anything can kind of happen. And I'm learning how to kind of carry myself in a way because I struggle from anxiety, trauma, and depression in my life. Like I've gone through a lot. And like I'm trying to channel that energy into even doing things that make me greater, bigger, and better. And like this week, like it was like one of the hardest weeks of my life. Going through some crazy stuff. My grandfather just got out of the hospital. Just found out my uncle has like throat cancer.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
My mom just got out of the hospital. So like,
and family is so important to you. I know as well. Like, it's such a big value.
Yeah. Like
I'm so sorry, truly.
It's like I really haven't been able to talk to people about it. Like I mean, you know, it's like the first time really talking to someone about it. But
it's good to open up like it's good to open up like that. I think a lot of people think that's a sign of weakness, or they're not willing to like be vulnerable and share, but you got to let it out sometimes. Like you have to talk about it, and you have to at the end of the day be able to get through it. So I'm sorry to hear that, and I'm glad that you've been able to continue to just do your thing and stay passionate and get the work done at the end of the day.
Just trying to channel it in like a positive direction.
Trying to channel it in a positive way.
Because like,
exactly.
And sometimes I'm drowning myself in my work, and some days it's better than others. I'm just trying to figure out like what's next and best, and like fitness really helps. Cardio, I like to go running on the field all the time. I haven't really had a chance to do it as much in the last like month or two with all the swim week stuff coming up.
Yeah.
I had someone tell me like, hey, like why aren't you like letting us know about this or that or these prototypes being out? And I'm like, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have so much going on in so many different group chats. I'm like, unless something's like official and it's produced and like being out there, I don't know, like it's just kind of something where it's like if you guys want to get a hold of me, I'm gonna be here. I'll be able to help you. But like everyone kind of expects the most out of me, and I'm just trying to like be like one person, and like sometimes I just need time for myself, and people don't get that. You know what I mean? It's
so important to take true time for yourself. So tell me, like,
self-care.
How do you exactly? How do you set those boundaries though? Because I know you have a million people blowing up your phone, and I get that too. You know, people trying to, hey, can you do this for me? Hey, can you do that? How are you able to just say no sometimes? Because you need to take care of yourself at the end of the day. You need to serve, but you also need to take care of yourself.
Sometimes I put my foot down. Sometimes I just like let people know what's up. Sometimes I just don't answer. Right now my DMs are flooded. I think every hour I have about anywhere from 3 to 5 models, anywhere from like 1,000 or 500,000 followers like hitting me up. Right now my casting chat has about like 110 girls in it, and I think there's about 138 maybe plus signed up to be casted virtually or physically. Reaching out to all these people that aren't just models, myself, my relations, my friends, my family, it can be tired. It can be time consuming. You know what I mean?
It can be tired.
And like what it's like it burns you out. And I think what I try to do is like I guess I'm trying to look at like the better things in life, and everything that I'm telling you, I enjoy this.
Yeah,
I enjoy my life. Like I physically get satisfaction out of seeing people happy and feeling empowered and moving to the next step. Like girls tell me that like my dream is to walk the runway. I have put girls' dreams to reality. You know what I mean?
And that's got to be fulfilling.
It's awesome. And like sometimes
helping them feel more confident.
Yeah, it's great.
There's no feeling like it. I will tell you guys, when I was walking that runway, I was strutting it. Like,
yeah,
that is fun.
You had a smile on your face.
Of course,
you enjoyed it. I think you even gave him a little a somersault. What did you do?
I did. I was on stage. My heel got stuck on the stage, and I decided I'm like, I got to make up for that. So I hit a front walkover and then like flexed on him.
Hey,
it was too funny, but you got to show out sometimes. You got to make the most of a situation.
And you did, and it shows, and the crowd loved it. And I'm just going to be honest with you. My partner sat down, and he's like, I'm going to count every single vote. And he's like, what's going to be a true, like, judge?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be a contest. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm telling him, like, who I think should win and who's, like, going. And I'm just like, oh, like, this is maybe what's going to come out to. And, like, while he's tallying it up, it was like between you and Kayla, and then all of a sudden, like, you came out on top. For one, I was just like astonished because I was like, it was your first time, and that's like amazing. And I think that's like really cool because you came on a whim from Miami to Fort Myers, drove 2.5 hours, didn't know what you were getting into.
I really did not know.
And she walked a fashion show. She walked for about, 3 or 5 designers? I forget exactly how many you did.
Multiple designers. Was super cool. Wore some dope, like, not just swimwear, but also some really cool streetwear.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. Mm-hmm.
And you, like, felt really empowered on the runway.
Yeah,
you got professional content at multiple photo shoots, a lot of networking, and with people, like, you probably wouldn't have even expected. You know?
Definitely. And I think it's so important, too, we were talking about this earlier as well, like placing yourself, if you want to grow as an entrepreneur, that's what we both do, you got to place yourself in multiple different environments around multiple different people and sometimes have that outside of the box thinking. So that was an experience that was definitely uncomfortable for me, I would say. At first, I'm like, I don't know these people. I've never even walked a runway. I don't even know you, but I'm just going to go out there and see what happened. And that experience was, it was a great day. Like you said, just the empowerment that I felt from that, the inspiration that I drew from that, the connections that I made. You never know what you're going to get out of something until you put yourself out there. That sounds cliche, but it's true, right?
Amen. And I think you said it really well, and I actually tell a lot of people that, and being in this nightlife industry, maybe things don't click or connect like in other people's minds, but I'm like, listen, when I'm sitting next to people like Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor, Messi, you know what I mean? All it takes is his manager noticing one of the models and like saying, hey, I want to work with her. Well, hey, listen, XYZ for this price or for this product or for this sponsor. You can count us in as long as it's actually a legit contract. It's legit. It's professional. Everyone's comfortable. Everyone's respected. If those boundaries have like come across very clear, then we're moving on. You know what I mean? And not only to the next step, but it's kind of like the future. It's like kind of like the sky is the limit.
That is so true. And I feel like too, you talk a lot about networking. That's a huge part of your job. And I never really realized how important networking was until I moved to Miami. Like being from a small town in Alabama, like I don't. Network, what is a network?
So can I tell you what
Go ahead, yeah.
I've been described. So I got my foundation from FGCU, Florida Gulf Coast University.
Okay.
Currently, as an alumni, I'm in the runway program right now, and we are pitching to FGCU, my company, SM Productions. And right now they're shadowing over everything, the revenue, the production, the customer growth, anywhere from cost per click to how much it is for customer lifetime value to expansion of MVPs to BMCs. So right now, on May 1st, we actually came in the top 12 to pitch for a grant. And if we, place, we actually get money from the school and acknowledgement. It's going to be accreditation from a university for my company,
Yeah.
And I think you said something earlier, and I want to touch on it. You said sometimes, it's hard being comfortable. You're like, it's uncomfortable. But what I was told from someone, you got to learn how to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
100%.
And I'm still learning that. And even still, I'm trying to learn how to talk to my quote-unquote bosses and this and that. And realistically, I talk to bosses every day. It's just people holding money over my head. And it's, sad because, they know they can just do that to you. And, I don't want to say any names, but, I just wish people would treat me with respect because, they don't even see me as, this or that. They just see, me for the money I'm bringing in, and they don't see the value that I'm bringing to the team, to the people, to the clients. They're just thinking really short-term. And they're not thinking oh, what's he done here? What's he done there? Or what's he planning to do? Or what can he do?
Yeah.
And some people see the Hard Rock. They've taken me, and don't get me wrong, I love them. And some people treat me better than others within the industry. But I really respect kind of the team that we've produced and that we work with. I'm throwing a whole production based off of me earning my stripes there, showing the quality I can bring and the production of a team that we can put together.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not just me. You know what I mean? Shout out to Candyman. Shout out to, Sergio, Good Life, like I said, and everyone else at the Hard Rock production team and anything else that they do. Definitely couldn't do it without everyone behind it and every model and every designer and every DJ. You know who you are. If you're there to help us, thank you. It goes from any volunteer just to someone coming out and having a drink with us. So
yeah, 100%. Having that support truly is really important. And I think the most important thing people can do is just treat others with respect and kindness. It's so easy, it's not everything.
You think it's easy. You think it's easy.
That's what I live by.
That's what, yeah.
Not everyone has that mentality. And I think too, people are driven by so many different things. I think a lot of times people think success means I have all of this money, and people just see money, money, money. This is all I want. But
they look at the image. they look at your beauty, and it's so much more than that. And we are so much more than just like what the image portrays us to be. And that's why when people are like, yo, you're just a promoter, like, yo, you just do this. I'm like, no, that just got you the connections to get you to where you were today.
Yeah.
That just helped you out. For example, someone said, you're going to do a swim week event at the Hard Rock Guitar Hotel? I go, yeah. They go, it's in Hollywood, Florida. I go, everyone considers the Hard Rock Miami. I go, they've done Swim Week Miami events at the Hard Rock.
Yeah.
Fusion Fashion has. I go, why wouldn't I be the next person to put it at the best venue in Florida and produce the best event that I possibly can? Maybe there's other events out there that are a little better than mine. Maybe there's a couple models out there that are a little better than ours, but we're competing with the best of the best.
Yeah, I mean, being in Miami Swim Week, I mean, that's a huge accomplishment in itself, for sure.
And we went from collaborating with WBFF last year and helping them produce their event to running our own production and making our own production company and building our own event this year.
Yeah.
Within 1 year. I don't know who else can,
amazing.
say those type of things.
That's super quick, and you're young doing all this. That's insane. So, yeah, I mean, you're connected. You're in the space. You got Nightlife fashion production. Tell me about your personal brand a little bit. How did you go about launching your swimwear line?
So this is, you just are reading my mind. I feel like we're connected. She did a lot of research. Respect to you and what you do. You're a great host. And expanding off of that, like, I know it's not easy, like, with this podcast. I know it's not easy doing the things that you do. But I think, like I said, talking about the legacy I wanted to leave, I think I wanted to dive a little deeper. So to give you a background, my family's from Napoli in Sicily. My grandfather came on the boat in, like, 1955 from the El Conte Biancamano through Ellis Island.
That is cool.
In New York. I did, like, the whole research process. He told me how it was. He was supposed to go to the army. I forget exactly how he didn't end up going, but he ended up just writing my grandmother saying he wanted to marry her.
Oh.
Then they traveled in time to 20 or 30 years in New York with my family. They have 5 kids, and then they came down to Florida and started Mario's Italian Restaurant. Been there for 45 years.
Let's go.
Why I'm saying all of this is because I want to leave my legacy and brand, and my family actually has something with fashion over in Italy. It's called, like, Ambrosio. I don't know. Okay. But I guess they're, like, designers.
Like, this is a brand?
This is a brand.
Company? Okay.
This is a company, a brand. This is like it's a clothing brand.
Okay.
So I don't really know too much about it. I just know that my family is well connected in Italy with designs. I don't even know who they are. But hearing about this, and I was like, oh, it's in, like, my blood, it's in my roots. And the fact that my business partner kind of designs, I was like, hey, I want to kind of take this idea and run with it. Can you help me build it?
And how long ago was this?
8 months ago.
No way!
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're, like, fresh into the line.
And here's the thing, right? I wouldn't even say we, because he is very much so a part of it, but this was my idea, like, based off of how I wanted to tackle it.
Yeah.
Someone told me, hey, for designs, because, like, I'm filling girls and events, runways. I'm like, I want to be a designer now.
Right.
So thinking of how I'm going to do it. Well, most people, most designs, if you think of LV, you think of Chanel, you think of anything, any big brand, most of the designs you see on the runway, you might never, ever see in the store.
Why is that?
Why do you think?
I don't know. Like, I don't
my
know.
interpretation is to tease and to make things more valuable, and not only that, but it's more about advertisement, marketing, and social media.
Maybe, like,
presence.
just making it more custom. Like, okay, we're gonna upsell this specific.
But it's like, hey, if you have something and I see it and I want it, and maybe I can't find it, well, I'm gonna go on your brand looking for it.
And it makes it so much more high
value.
value.
Drive traffic. Yeah. It's gonna drive people, and it's marketing, advertising. It's more of a thought than just the design itself. And sometimes you might see that, maybe it's the most fashionable, trending thing ever, but maybe you see, like, this one look and you're, like, looking everywhere for it. You see it
crazy.
And maybe, like, all of a sudden you see it for, like, $70K, and it's like a 2 of 2, I don't know, collab, you know what I mean? Like Supreme, LV, yada yada, blah blah. I don't know.
These luxury brands.
Yeah, and what I'm just trying to get, and luxury brands are great, but I wanted to go with that route, and I wanted to start teasing people, and I wanted to advertise and market, and then I wanted to sell.
Okay.
So now going into it, I have content, I have models, I have a calendar. Now I have everything behind it, and I have the team. All I need to do is sell.
That's awesome.
So when it comes to someone like you, like a social media influencer, or someone with or like, let's say TikTok Shop, well, hey, like, you know, you're making commission off of this, or like, let's say you're making, let's say you sell 100 bikinis, you make 20% off of those bikinis. I mean, you're not complaining just off of selling a bikini just by wearing it and just saying, hey, come buy his bikinis, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just like, it's kind of like a trickle-down effect. And now I'm not just selling like some fans online, I'm selling my own product, and I'm like hiring people to work for me. And not only am I the modeling agency, not only am I the production company, but I am now the sponsor, I am the product deal, I am everything start to finish that you could want.
So, yeah, there's a lot of preparation that goes into it, and I feel like a lot of people would not think about it in that way. They're just immediately trying to sell first off the bat.
Short-term satisfaction.
Yeah, short-term satisfaction, which is everyone, but especially like we're in the same kind of age generation. We want things so quick, but you just got to wait and be patient sometimes.
Well, I forget what his name is, the guy who interviews billionaires or whatever. It's like the School of Hard Knocks or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, long story short, he was like saying, he's like, you know, billionaires, they think in decades. So they're thinking, like, I'm thinking of next year. I already have Art Basel planned out right now. I'm already looking at Swim Week next year. No one thinks that.
Yeah.
Everyone's thinking
short term,
next
get
month.
the money, let's go.
I'm thinking as I was driving over here, we are already planning to make the next event for Swim Week or Art Basel because we had to cancel one of them. So May 28th, unfortunately, will be canceled. I only have one event instead of two.
Okay.
Unforeseen things. Someone had a bigger buyout than us, and we just said, hey, listen, we understand. We want you to make the money. You know what I mean? And just kind of keep the connection, and we want to roll with it. We love the venue. We love the owners. It just wasn't the time and place to continue with that event. And we said we're going to put our all in the Hard Rock event.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now with the 10 designers, and you just see all these models.
10 designers, that's a lot. Yeah. I know you have a lot of models too. I want to talk about the financial side of things for a minute. When you first decided to start this company, what was that like? You know, how much, if you don't mind me asking, like how much did you invest into it? Were you nervous to do that at first? I'm sure you were. Just what were the finances like to start your own brand?
You know, you give me chills because it's like questions that I would like to ask myself sometimes. But it's like you're like taking it out of me. And in ways, like sometimes I can't answer it all in one, but what I will sit here and tell you is that back to FGCU, back to my foundation, when I was learning in my graduate program, there's something called leaning and launching.
Okay.
And I want you to understand this, and I want you to take it into consideration with yourself, with your brand, with anything. And you're already doing it here right now. But you go and you take time into yourself and you make it as cheap and as efficient as possible until you have to put in the money. So what do? I'm not going to put, like for the bikinis, for example, why would I put $10,000 into product, not know what they're going to like, not know what people are going to want, not know what the product's going to be, and then it's a prototype that no one's even going to like, and then I'm just going to have it sit in the middle of a storage.
And then you drop $10K and you can't get it back.
But guess what? In the middle of a year, I'm throwing about $10K into events, products, sponsors, advertising. So now when I'm building up to that point and I know the girls like the bikini, when I know everyone's validated, when I know the value has been conquered. So it's going back to a BMC, which is a business model canvas, and that's kind of like showing what the value proposition is, some of the things to tackle, like your customer segments, revenues, your streams, and there's like a lot of things that you kind of look into, and then there's your MVP. So it's like people think of an MVP as always a product.
Yeah.
And it can also be a service as well, but that's technically, it can go both ways. But for the product, you want to be able to put something out there that people can physically see and touch. And once that's established, then you can kind of run with that. But so I don't know if you remember back to like my podcast when you won. If you look back, one of the things I asked you, I said, hey, how do you feel about winning today? You said, great. I said, how does this bikini feel on you? Oh my God, I like the way it fits. This was quote unquote coming from your mouth. I like the ties. And you said it yourself. That wasn't me selling my bikini. You were the one telling me. So when I go back, oh, hey, well,
it's so important for the people to like
the Queen of Bay Street loved it.
What can I say?
And if the Queen of Bay Street loved it, guess what, girls? You could like it too. Offer the price up.
That's too funny. That is too funny, yeah.
But it's...
I see what you mean.
No one even thinks about what, I'm thinking what this question is going to be. It's going to be traveling down, hopefully 10 years from now.
100%. So tell me, for someone who has no idea, maybe they want to start their own line. A lot of people want to start their own brand. How much money do you really need?
I think you just need an idea and a dream. I think you need to make an LLC. But I think you need to put value. I think you need to test the hypothesis, and I think you need to run with it before you even do that. People want to put it on paper, and some people do it. And I think some of the ideas are the cheapest things until you put it actually on paper. It's $1 million idea, but if you don't do anything with it, like, what's the value in that piece of paper?
That is so true.
You know?
Is so true.
And I'm not saying to pour all your money into it, but pour your time into something that you think is going to be valuable, and that's more than what money could ever do. You know?
No, I think that's so true, and having that mindset to where you don't even know what the payoff is going to be, but you just see
it's a risk.
But you just see the vision. That's a huge risk.
Mm-hmm.
What do you tell yourself in those moments where you're like, okay, this could easily fail, but I know I have this idea that I truly feel confident about, and I want to put it out there?
Well, sometimes you got to learn when to pivot. Sometimes you got to learn when you failed. Sometimes you got to learn when to move on. Sometimes you're so caught up in something, like, let's say in a song, right?
Okay.
Someone loves the song, but they say, hey, I don't like the hook. And you go, I worked days on that hook.
It's my favorite part.
It's like it.
Yeah.
And she goes, girl, I'm telling you, without that hook, you got to hit with that hook. You know what I mean? They're looking at you like it might be like I don't know. It'll be there, maybe like top charts, but it ain't like the one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd be like, damn.
And that's not what you wanted to hear. But like, you know, I've heard, and I forget where I heard that. It was in my program too. But like, sometimes the things that you love the most, sometimes you got to learn to either play with, and you got to analyze when to roll with it, when to keep it, and when to kind of like test it out.
Well, how do you know when it's time to pivot in your business?
When it's not working, when you're not making money, when you're going really, really under, and you keep putting money into something where, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, you put $1,000 in, that's great. Maybe it goes a little like not as planned. Maybe you break just solid even. Okay, that's cool. But I'm talking when like you put money in and you're seeing maybe $100, and then like.
And has that happened to you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've had events where I've put like $3,000 to $5,000 in, and you're not seeing anything out of it.
God.
I've seen you know, things where you put money into merchandise, and I mean, I haven't really sold merchandise. I've probably put at least like $3,000 to $5,000 just in that alone.
Of course.
And I mean, I haven't really seen $1 from that yet. But the thing is, I know the long-term value, and it's not about the selling the clothes right now. It's about the advertisement and marketing the clothes. Once that's off, then everyone's going to, you know, hopefully buy it. Now, will they? I don't know. That's going to have to be my test, my hypothesis. But, like, people already asked me, hey, what do I buy these bikinis? What do I do? And now it's about pushing it out there like I'm supposed to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And once I have the foundation of influencers,
yeah,
they're going to push it for me and technically just do that job.
Okay, no, I love that. So tell me, with the swimwear line, so it's not just bathing suits, right? You do so many things with production, like you said, with shoots, with casting models, logistics. Mm-hmm. Just for example, the fashion show you put together a few weeks ago. How do you even put on these big events? How do you go about that? Do you see the vision and then you're like, hey, I'm just gonna start working? Like, that's such a big thing.
Yeah.
How does that come to life?
Realistically, this one was a challenge. I sat at a bar with one of my friends, and we were sitting there talking, and I was like, you know, one of the models was actually bartending at the time, and she walked in my swim week event last year, and it was like a month or two after. I like look at her and I go, hey, wouldn't it be cool like if we brought something here like that? And she goes, I would love it. She's like, you have to. And she wasn't even a part of the event, but I was like, you know, it's kind of crazy because I was like, you're so right, girl. And then I start talking to my friend. I'm like, dude, you've got the connections. I'm like, we have, you know, the connections over here. I'm like, let's bridge the gap together. I'm like, I want to make it all kind of happen.
Pause there for one moment.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying connections. I hear
so
this
real
word.
people. So if you don't know real people, where are they going to get you? It's that one. So there's networking and connections.
Yeah.
Then there's the real person who's going to be able to network you to that next place.
And
you know
I know,
what I mean? It's like an outlet.
Yeah, I feel like it's so important for what you do, as we kind of talked about earlier, to grow your network, and a lot of people struggle with that. Mm-hmm. We'll come back to what I was saying in just a second with the show, but how can someone build their network? How do you do that?
You ask questions.
Ask questions.
You be vulnerable. You tell people. You say things. You do things that you usually wouldn't. You try to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
Okay, just putting yourself out there and talking to people.
Yes, but even more so, like, sometimes you have to, like, do things that, I don't know, like...
Give me an example.
There's a lot of things, you know what I mean? I think it's just about, putting your face on camera, like, that's not easy, you know what I mean? Talking to people, asking your professor questions that you usually wouldn't, telling your boss, like, you know, what's going on, like, when you usually shouldn't.
You usually shouldn't,
and that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I'm like, they're like, oh, well, you should maybe just shut your mouth, and I'm like, well, like, I just want to be paid for the time I was there.
You have to speak up, though? How you going to work and not even get paid?
Yeah.
That's not gonna work. Anyways, though, I understand. I just think that's something a lot of people.
It's sad, but like it happens a lot in life. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, and like people want to say like this and that, but like I feel like if I was feeling more valued in like a lot of other situations, like even a model, right? If you feel more valued, you're gonna push the brand. You're gonna push like what you're working for. You're gonna do, and like same thing with any job. Like if you feel valued there, like you're probably gonna push it a lot more than somewhere where you're just like,
I don't even care. I'm just showing up here. Let's get the money and leave, which is probably what most people feel. But yeah, that makes total sense. Tell me though, back to again, running these big events, starting this fashion show. You build the connections. You start bringing the vision to life. Where does it go from there?
The Fort Myers event was, like I said, a little in particular because, like I said, it happened with real people, and really just asking questions and building contracts and putting the right people and team together. It doesn't start with just me. It starts with knowing the real people. It starts with knowing the real things, and it's building a plan. It doesn't happen overnight. You got to talk to bar owners, managers, DJs, models, production, start to finish. And you know, and here's the thing, right? And like it seems repetitive, and everyone's like, oh, you know, like when you have a boyfriend, it's like, oh, I don't want to talk to them like all the time. It's like, no, like this is like a life where it's like it doesn't matter if you like them or not. Like you gotta like put that time in, and you gotta put that effort. And like sometimes even when you don't want to answer the phone, you never know if it's that $1 million idea that person just had for you. And it's like when you like have that loyalty and respect for each other. And sometimes you don't want to pick it up for your mom or dad, but guess what? Like, you're going to do that. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
And, like, I don't know. Like, not everyone has to love or hate me. Like, but I just want to be on the same page where I feel respect and loyalty. And, like, we can go anywhere. Like, I can put anyone, like, on my back as long as they're willing to do the same for me. You know? Because, like, that's kind of how
it's
like a both-way thing.
That's hard to find people like that. And I can imagine, though, too, in the industry you're in, it's probably a lot of fake stuff going on.
Every single outlet. You know what I mean? And I think the only person I can trust is my business partner right now. And like... realistically, it's like that and family. And other than that, I mean, like, of course, there's those few in between, but realistically, like, where am I going? What am I doing? Like, I want to build a dream. I want to build a legacy. And some people see it and other people laugh at me until, like, I'm actually, like, making the money they never actually thought I could.
Yeah.
And it's not even about the money. It's about the dreams, about the position. Like, you're talking, like, you know.
Pursuing your passion, and I feel like the money will come eventually, yeah. I will say, though, I can imagine there's a lot of pressure when you're putting on, like, these big events and you're in charge of so many things. At the end of the day, like, it all falls back on your shoulders. You have multiple roles, responsibilities. Again, people are blowing up your phone all the time. I'm super passionate about mental health, and I think your mindset is the most important thing that you have in anything that you do. How do you deal with the pressures of image and business and, like, these social environments? How do you deal with that?
Well, for one, it helps to have a counselor. I go to counseling. I've been like a client for about like 20 years now.
When you say counselor, do you mean more so like therapist? Or?
So like I believe in holistic counseling, like psychotherapy. Okay. And I was actually a counselor in training myself.
Oh, wow.
So I was a clinical mental health counselor in training. And then after I got cheated on, I pivoted and went to be a master in entrepreneurship. I saw 30 clients in that advanced practicum. I learned kind of how to analyze people, the way they act, the way they walk, the way they talk. I can go into a room and observe things, and people might be in a shitty mood or a good mood, and I can kind of see it a little through it. And even when they're trying to put a happy face on or a poker face, sometimes like I can kind of see more than the average person can. But like mental health, yeah, I think it's really key, and I think that's something I can stick with. And I'm not always like, sometimes like I fall off and then I kind of come back. But talking
with your mental health,
well, just with anything, it's just like the mental health journey is what I mean.
Of course.
Because like some people say they're fine, they're doing this, but like realistically, like when you're in your head, like you can't talk to anyone else, and like you don't have that person there for you. Like what's next, you know? And it's cool to have like an outlet and like someone who doesn't judge and like there's no bias. And I was able to see from both ends of the bat because like my parents got divorced at like a young age, like 6 years old, and I didn't really understand it, but it definitely helped me at times where like not any other person could give me that outside perspective. And I think that even sometimes your best friend can be your counselor, but I wouldn't say it's always healthy that way. But sometimes it's how people deal with things.
Yeah, of course, because they're not unbiased, like you said, and
but
they don't have that specialty.
I mean? Well, then they don't have logistics. Like they're like, "Girl, go cheat on that guy." Like, "Girl, you know what I mean?"
Girl, it's fine.
Yeah, like, exactly. Yo, you're good. It's like, no, sometimes you're not, and like, no, sometimes like, don't. You know what I mean? Just chill at home. Like, don't drown yourself in the bottle. And then, you know, regretting your decisions. And it's like, oh, it's the Miami life. It's like, no. Like
the Miami life is not always okay.
And sometimes the Miami life can chew you up and spit you out.
That is so true.
And
talk to me about that for a second too, because you're talking about the Miami life. It's crazy here. I've talked about this on my show, and you're in again these environments where you're around drinking and partying and this and sex and that all the time. How do you stay grounded and okay?
Well, I sleep a lot during the week, like almost like Monday through Thursday. I almost sleep like almost all day, like seriously. And like I help my family out at the restaurant, and like I said, like people are lucky to get phone calls from me. If I'm not, and the only thing I'm doing is straight up like marketing, like advertising and on social media. And like if it's not about work, like I'm usually not answering about it. Like that's just how it is, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's
like in what way you feel like you're just so mentally and physically drained?
Drained, yeah. So then like
mentally?
I'd say like by Wednesday, like I kind of like recoup, but like I usually like Monday is like the day where I'm checked out. Because like I'm usually watching the sunrise, and like sometimes like when you're in the club or like when you're working like the venues and like your events till 3 or 4 in the morning, you're overstimulated, and then you don't get home till 3, 4, 5. Then you're just sitting there finally eating your first meal of the day.
And it's like 5 a.m.
And I'm like, what am I doing? Eating a burrito at 6 o'clock in the morning? I'm like, I should be eating.
I get up. That's what I get up.
Bacon, egg, and cheese, or eggs, or anything, but some kind of not breakfast food. I don't know. But what I'm trying to get at here is that I put myself through a journey, and I think that it's all about how you come back from like where you want to position yourself, and it's about perspective. And I think if I didn't change my perspective sometimes...
what perspective is that?
Well, sometimes, you can be your own worst critic or harshest critic, and you could be really hard on yourself, but sometimes you just got to, like, you're doing your best you can.
Yeah.
And, like, some people, like, would die to be where you're at, or, like, some people, like, and, like, sometimes
that
helps.
That's hard to do, though.
No,
that's hard to do because I feel like I'm the same way. Easy. I'll do a million things right that day, and the only thing I'm thinking about is what I did wrong.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, you fucking suck.
Yeah, like you dropped those eggs, or you did this, or like exactly. You dropped the ball here, and it's like, and I'm just thinking about that all day, like how I could have made this one person happy, not like myself, not anything else. But I think like I have to like reroute that sometimes, like, oh well, I tried my best, or like I have no regrets, or like I put my all into this,
Yeah.
And I think like kind of going back to it. The courage and curls and all that stuff. I think people need to like put themselves out there, and they need to kind of go beyond like the limit. And for me and you, for example, I think we kind of go beyond the average norms. Just the podcast, being a leader, and kind of the way that we carry ourselves kind of shows, and it's going to grow. And you never know where it's going to go for us.
No, I totally agree. And kind of staying on that topic of mental health and mindset, what you've been able to do, what you're doing, it honestly just takes so much courage. It takes guts. Like you said, a lot of people are not willing to put themselves in those uncomfortable situations. It is the Curls and Courage podcast. What does courage mean to you?
Courage, I think it's just like going above and beyond, and I think just like standing up like when other people feel like they can't, or like kind of just even standing with yourself at times where you feel like no one else really is. And just kind of going against the odds. And sometimes
going against the odds, I love that.
Yeah, because you don't really know what to do. You don't know what to expect. You feel like some days I feel like the whole world's against me. I feel like the whole group chat's against me. I feel like if the lighting's not right, like everyone wants to drill me about it. I'm like, I'm not the lighting engineer. Like I'm just doing what I can.
I'm just doing my best.
Like
man.
I've had people give me death threats, like telling me that they're gonna like commit suicide because of X, Y,
Z.
Z.
Are you serious?
I swear. I'm like, what do you... I had a guy...
Because of something that you've, like, done? Or portrayed?
Not even that I did. Like, all right, so for example, my lighting was off at one of my events, and this guy told me he was going to jump off a bridge because my lighting was bad, and it didn't align with his vision. And I was just like... And I'm on a cruise 3 days after my event, like... I'm like, damn, like, this is a lot. Like, and
that's
like,
going to get to you mentally. Of course, you're putting
I'm, like, showing, like, my family's friends, right? And, like, they're like, oh, like, I'm sorry, Matteo. I'm like... Like, no one understands what I'm even going through. I'm just like I just like had the biggest event of my life. Like, no one knows what to say to me.
I don't know what I would say either. Other than, man, I'll pray for you. Yeah, like,
I actually could not respond after he said that, because I was responding up until like he got like really nasty with me, and like to that point, and it was almost like one of the lowest blows I feel like you could have done.
Especially
and if that was the truth, that my event made him feel that way, I am so sorry. At the end of the day, if you're seeing this, if you hear this, if you know. I'm sorry, but I mean, to be honest with you, it was not that bad, and I mean the content came out great.
Lighting?
Just for the lighting.
That's crazy.
And I get where they're coming. Like, I know they want to put their all into it, but I'm doing the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's trial and error, and I'm just trying to work with these venues the best way I can.
Yeah.
And like I said, when people are talking that way to me, like it leaves you speechless.
Oh, of course, yeah, and I think prioritizing your mental health in any space, but especially when you're in this industry that you are in. We're about to wrap it up here and do a little bit of like a Q&A segment I want to do, but I also want to ask you, what are some things you just do on the daily to prioritize your mental health, to make sure that you're okay when you have all of these things coming at you? Just give me 3 things you do.
3 things that I do, like I said, I think cardio is really key. I think it helps the brain kind of think. Breathing, I think sometimes like take a step back before I take a step forward. Just like trying to sit there, relax, like deep breaths. I know it sounds repetitive, but sometimes like you really do need that in the moment. And then honestly, like just doing something for myself, like if it's just like eating a good meal or just like one thing like that I like. I don't know if it's just a snack.
It's gonna boost your soul a little bit.
It could be like a really good movie, and like I'm just like, yo, like I'm just gonna turn off my phone for a little bit. Just something like a little self-care time. And I think just prioritizing, even if it's like an hour or 2 for yourself, I think that kind of shows more, because like even sometimes in the midst of it all, when you feel like you can't, sometimes you just need to put that phone down and be like, all right, like give me an hour. Don't even like. And sometimes it's
having the discipline to step
hard.
away. Yeah, especially when you're passionate about something. People don't talk about, oh, let's keep pushing, let's hustle. But to even have the discipline to take a step back is just like the hustle itself, if that makes sense. You know, you have to be disciplined enough to say, I'm not doing anything else right now. I'm going to take a moment for me so I'm able to perform at the best of my ability.
And I think me and you can definitely relate to that. We've been through
it's hard,
it.
Though.
And some days, you know, you got your life, your podcast, you got your job, everything else in between, and then you're just trying to all like put it together like a puzzle.
It's hard. It's challenging.
Yeah, and you're just like, where do I go next?
At the end of the day, though, it's all about, just continuing to move forward. So, thank you so much for that. That's 3 very good tips. Obviously, being in the space that I'm in, I agree with those 100%. That's what I do is fitness. So, getting the cardio in, taking care of yourself, and making sure that you take a moment to breathe.
The sauna is really good, too, for cardio, and, like, the steam room. Those
like after you get done.
Sometimes I don't even go to the gym. I'll literally just go there just to go to the steam room and stretch.
I don't agree with that. Y'all better get to the gym.
But
no, I know what you mean. I'm messing with you.
Like sometimes, like it's when I say it's like today, I might not even lift, and like I might just go in there and stretch and just be like, all right, like that was like the little cardio, like that little boost, like the little adrenaline rush, like it helps you. I don't know what it is.
You're doing
but like
something
sweating
for
it
yourself.
out.
Yeah,
I call it sweating out the demon.
Sweating out the demons.
I'm like, yo, let's go.
That's how I feel when I box and I lift. I'm like, y'all take these demons away. No, I feel like
that's cool that you do all that though.
Of course, I love what I do. It's awesome. So, I want to wrap it up with a little bit of a rapid fire Q&A segment. These are kind of random questions. We got 10 of them. This is the last segment I do. I want you not to overthink. The goal is to answer these super quickly in like 60 seconds or less. Whatever comes to your mind first.
All right.
Okay? First question, one of your best fashion tips.
Go with your gut.
Okay. Dream venue to host an event.
Dream venue?
Dream venue.
I feel like I'm almost like done my dream venues, but like if it got beyond that, I don't like...
Something you haven't done.
I want to say the Fontainebleau, but I feel like that's not like unachievable. Like I want something that's like
dreams are not unachievable. It's just something you can have.
I'm thinking
dreams.
Like Madison Square Garden type thing. Like I'm thinking like the biggest and best. Yeah, like or like
no dream is too big.
Yeah, you know, like I don't know, like somewhere that's just beyond what I would ever comprehend.
Beyond what you can't even think of. The dream right now. I got you.
Yeah.
All right, tell me something that you will never do again.
I'll try to have my lighting as best as I can every event.
So that one got you.
No, when I say it was traumatizing for me.
No, that honestly is terrible. That breaks my heart to even someone to say that. But anyways, money or visibility?
Visibility.
Okay.
Well, it depends. I'd rather financial stability, but like if you're talking in terms of like outreach over money, I'd rather outreach because that can do more than what like
making an impact.
Yeah, because like what's like 50,000? You know what I mean? Like don't get me wrong. In the moment, you might take that in a second, but if you're telling me that you have an Instagram account that's going to be made in like 2 or 3 million followers, you're going to be making $50,000 in a month
easily.
You know, and like you might have to take 2, 3, 4 years to build that. But
I think the profit comes from the visibility. It's just like you said, it's not a short-term game, it's long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Biggest turn-off in a relationship?
When someone is just like holding a collar over your throat.
In what way?
They just don't let you be like who you actually are. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they don't trust you for who you are. And it's like, well, why are we even together then in the first place?
Exactly. Okay, that's interesting. I feel that.
Because the first thing people tell me is like, oh, you're a promoter, like you're a player, like you're around all these models. It's like, no, actually, I have to treat these girls with the utmost respect. I have to make sure everyone's good. I have to make sure everything's great. Because if not, at the end of the day, these people aren't going to work with me. They're not going to talk good. They're not going to want to move forward in my dream and my direction and kind of how I want to place them. You know what I mean?
You have to have someone who trusts you at the end of the day. Yeah. And you have to trust them as well. Trust is everything in life and relationships, you know? Tell me your worst personality trait.
Sometimes, like, I would say it's either, like, my OCD or sometimes I like to be in control. Like, so when I get out of control, like, it prevents, like, a lot of anxiety. You know, that's not, like, really a control thing. It's more like when things happen out of my reach that I can't help, I feel really bad about it. You know, and it's like that's
I'm
why.
The same way, I swear. But if you can't control it, how is that going to fall back on you?
You know, like with health and stuff like that, like it's been really hard, like to hear about my family. Like, I'm like, how do I? I'm like, I can just control the controllables, and that's myself right now. Yeah. And it's like I just want to support them and do what I can. Like, I'm just trying to like go off anything that would make me feel good. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to do that for them. So.
Yeah, and I'll be praying for your family.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, of course. I mean it. Yeah. Tell me the fakest thing about the industry you work in.
When people say they can do things that they can't, or people project themselves like something they aren't, like me, like I'm not a millionaire. Like people might look at me like that. People are like, yo, you're a crypto dude, like this and that. It's like, no, like some of these kids, like maybe they have more money than what they say, but I mean, I look where they're living, like what they're doing, and I'm like, I don't know, it just doesn't.
You are capping, man.
Yeah, I mean,
being honest. Yeah.
You might have this in the bank, or you might be playing these trades, but like don't count someone's dollars. That's what I've heard from like one of the wealthiest people. You know what I mean? Like just never count a person by like what they have.
That is so true. That is so true.
Because like you never know how much in debt they are. You never know what's going on. Like you never know, how they're carrying themselves. Yeah, it could turn really quick, and it's happened to me. I felt like I was on top of the world, and the next minute, like I'm putting my money and time in people that don't deserve it.
Gosh, yeah. I can imagine, like I said, that industry you work in is got to be challenging, in so many ways. What about the craziest experience you've had in your industry so far? What is the craziest nightlife experience that you've had? Like
good, bad, happy, sad?
Craziest. It could be anything. Whatever you define as crazy.
I thought it was crazy, two in particular moments. But the first one was when my table was on table 61 at Live. And then they sat down table 62, and that's usually the artist table. But I didn't know who it was, and then all you see is this huge mob of people, and I'm like, who is this? And then they come up, and like I'm asking, and I guess it was like the manager. I'm like, yo, like, who are you guys? He's like, yo, we're the money team. And I'm like, the money team? I'm like, I've never heard of the money team.
What's this team?
So then,
I want to be on that team.
Oh, you want to be on that team? They came through, and I've never seen a group come so strong for someone. But, I mean, they had me right next to Floyd Mayweather. Like, my table, like, literally, like, there was maybe a little sliver of a section just separating us and my girls and everything. And he's got, like, diamond-encrusted beats. He's got, like, a table of, like, 50-plus people. And I don't know. I've seen Floyd since I was, like, 3, 4, 5 years old, heard about him. So, like, being that close to him, and not even just, like, maybe it wasn't just Floyd himself. It was like the way people like projected him and like supported him and cared. It was his birthday. And then so I was like, I don't know, like the energy was just there, right? So then I walk out and I'm like, oh, like whatever. I forget who I was walking out with or what we were doing. I think I might have been walking out by myself. All of a sudden, I see like the valet lineup. In my life, I've never seen such a lineup. It was like all like McLarens and Lamborghinis and like, but it was like 30 or 40 of them. Bro, I'm not talking 10. Yeah. And he like rented it all for his team. Supposedly someone said that he bought it all for his team. I was like, there's no way. But like every car was matching, flexing, stunt. I'm like, I didn't know what to say. It was just like an unreal moment. And I feel like it kind of like, and I'm like, I don't know, like it's for someone to have that kind of community kind of like just had me in like, wow. It, like the money was there, don't get me wrong, but it was more about like the support. And I think that's what people don't see. They look at the thing and the image in front of you and it's like, no, like Floyd built respect. You feel me? And no matter who he is or what he, like I don't even know the man. I think it's so important to have that that community.
That's so rare to find too. Gosh.
And like I see artists who like, people are just so fake around them. Like, but I felt like there was like love around him that day.
And
It was
you
like
can
weird.
feel that.
Yeah,
Too. I love
like
that.
I feel
love
it like
that
as we're
from
talking.
you.
Like he was just chilling. Like, and I'm like, I even left early that day. I was like, man, I don't know. Like, just something about me. Like, I feel like I should be enjoying the moment more. You know?
Yeah, just hey, I'm gonna support you too, my man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's a really cool experience. I'm happy you got to see that.
Thank you.
Last question is advice that you'd give your younger self.
Patience is a virtue. You got to kind of like go through some of the things to get to where you need to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't rush it.
Take it one step at a time, and I feel like that's what I'm trying to do right now. And I'm trying to like have trust in the process, but a lot of these processes are having me like think twice. You know, just with everything going on in life. So
Yeah, and I think that's with everybody. You're gonna overthink things. Your mind, like you said, you can be a slave to your mind. But if you know you're on the right path, you're moving forwards. At the end of the day, you're right. All you can do is be patient. It's in God's timing. It's in His hands. Just keep moving, you know. So yeah,
I'm
that's
blessed.
true.
I'm thankful. God's watching over me and my family. So I don't know what I'd do without him.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you opening up and sharing your story. That was a great conversation. I'm really excited just to watch you grow and support you and to see everything you have going on. Tell my listeners, where can they find you if they want to connect, if they want to buy some swimwear in the future, or if they want to learn more about you, maybe go to your shows.
So you can hit up SM Productions. You can hit up Mcgriddys Modeling Agency. You can hit up GLM Magazine. You can hit up Mcgriddys Swimwear. If you guys want bikinis, that should be coming out soon. The website should be hopefully launching in the next month or two.
Okay, awesome.
SM Productions, that website will be launching hopefully in the next couple days. A lot of things in the work. You know, we got Swim Week 2026. Shout out, come see you on the runway. It's gonna
I'm
be
excited.
crazy.
Come see you guys. We're gonna be in Swim Week.
Come
I'm excited.
support.
Yes,
She gonna be
Show some
there.
love.
Oh, she gonna look great either way.
Thank you.
And you know, I'll be there to support you. We'll be making it happen, and I feel like it's gonna be really empowering for you and all the models. I'm looking forward to that. I feel like it's gonna be one of the best events that I've ever been able to produce, and I think it's everything that I've been kind of like getting ready for, and it's almost like the playoffs. People are calling it the Super Bowl, but I'm like, it's just the next step to the next biggest event for me.
That's awesome.
You know?
Yeah. I hope everyone come out and support for sure. So thank you for that. We'll be sure to mention your socials on the channel. Also, you guys, please follow at Yo It's Kenzel and at Curls and Courage Podcast on Instagram as well to support me and stay updated on the show. If you want to show some love to Curls and Courage, I would really appreciate it. Please leave a rating and review wherever you're listening now. Subscribe to my channel, share this episode with a friend, and then check out the podcast every Thursday on WDJY 99.1 FM radio. Believe me when I say we have preached this, your support goes a long way. And lastly, if you're interested in one-on-one training or nutrition coaching, I'd love to help you. Send me an email at kensleymeeksfit@gmail.com. Y'all keep it real, live boldly every single day, keep living with purpose, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.
Hit her up, guys. Comment, like, subscribe. You already know.
Perfect. Anything else you want to say?
That's it. Thank you for your time.
Of course.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
y'all. Bye.
Appreciate y'all. Bye.